Why don't we start with you? What exactly do you do?
I oversee all of the video production on all of Meredith's websites. So Meredith is also a television company. We own television stations, but my primary goal is to increase the volume of online content that we do on sites like Parents Fitness, Better Homes and Gardens, allrecipes.com. We reach 100 million women a month offline and 40 million a month digitally. So we mix, it's a marriage of analytics and inspiration to deliver exactly the content they're looking for.
So you're the new media bolt-on to the old media company, if I may paraphrase. All right, moving on here, Bob. What do you do?
I try to stay out of the way most of the time. We have a lot going on in demand. We essentially power pay-per-view and on-demand services for the cable industry throughout North America. So we have about 160 content supplier relationships that we manage day in and day out, and then we essentially take all that content, format it into all the different platforms which our cable operator affiliates distribute over, and then we essentially distribute all that content over either a secure internet connection or a fleet of satellites that we operate. From live pay-per-view to movies on demand to seasonal sports packages from the professional sports leagues, all the ring sports that you probably heard about this past Saturday with Mayweather fight. We're in the mix of helping to fuel that for the cable industry, so we're in a very, very interesting position.
Mr. Wood, so you started the Roku Player idea at Netflix. Give us the brief 30-second history of the Roku.
Well, Roku, the company, was started in 2002 doing various digital media players. I had two jobs for a while. I was also an employee at Netflix about 5 years ago for about a year. During that time, we developed what's now the Roku streaming player inside Netflix, and that spun out as it was going to be a project that never shipped. Netflix never shipped. Instead, they spun it out into Roku. So that's sort of the genesis of the streaming player.
All right, and I'm sorry, go ahead. Right now, you're in charge of the company.
I'm the founder of Roku Video, and in charge of the company. So I was just curious, how many people here have a Roku player? That's pretty good. Yeah.
How many people use it often?
You've got some users that are using like 35 hours a week, right?
Yeah, the top 25% of our streamers stream 35 hours a week on average.
That includes music.
Yeah, that includes music, which is about 10% of streaming.
Okay.
But the average usage is 14 hours.
That's interesting. But that cohort would be roughly comparable to what your average TV viewer watches in a week. Joan, tell us a little about yourself.
Simply, we're connecting marketers to consumers of media across multiple platforms, and the core platform is television, but my sales organization and ad ops of 1,600 sell for not just the Time Warner Cable properties, but for Verizon, AT&T, DirecTV, Dish, and a whole suite of online digital properties. So we're creating solutions for marketers to reach consumers where they consume not just TV, but all of the digital assets that are available. What's really interesting about a perspective we have in our role is we're solving for following the consumer when it comes to ad opportunities. So as Time Warner Cable is moving to delivering live streaming on Roku and Xbox, the iPad and Android devices, we're solving for ad solutions there so that we can continue to connect the marketers to consumers in that environment.